Ah, such soothing sounds, don't you think? Welcome back. This is part 3. Thanks for joining me once again for our trek as Izumo. That's the nation to be right now. And we're handing out some awards for jobs well done. That's right, kudos all around. Except for one noticeable absentee, who will hopefully be making a swift return in the near future. In the meantime, just compulsively checking for items that I know we don't have. Let's look at our POWs, see if anybody is game. Who's hip to be square, not Isaac. But Mr. Nolt is, that's good. He's gonna be a nice little defensive sponge for us. And Florin. What about your husband, Florin? Forgot about him real fast, didn't she? And I don't even know why I clicked her. No, she was gonna join. Motochica, I'm gonna keep trying, but I'm pretty sure he's not gonna join. Rasmussen, not buying it. I bet he comes to our side. Yep. He's driving a hard bargain, but he okay. Watch. Let's see. We must enter Bozak's capital. Yes, we've been over all that. Kansuke. Oh, I tell you, he's just a little anxious, isn't he? Yeah. Poor Kaede's working his last nerves, though. That's not going to change. Yeah, the only thing about playing as Kaede, it seems that she's very unpopular. I mean, now compare this to Bozak, where, everybody was relatively eager to join Gangas' group. I mean, there were a couple of exceptions, mostly just, bitter beastmen who rebelled and lost and were holding a grudge, but in terms of other kingdoms and nations especially, everybody was quick to join. We didn't have to put up a fight. Again, it's a complete antithesis to what Gangas had to go through in the first Dragon Force, where, we won't go there again. But here, Kaede and Kansuke, both collectively, just getting all the cold shoulders, just no rubs getting done here. They're just no love. There is none to be found for these two. So I don't know if it's just a disdain for the letter K in this nation, this world, this country. But those two, they can't catch a break. Nobody wants to be bothered with them. Yeah. In fact, normally by this point, I know it's still early, but any other kingdom I've used, I would have had a couple of people join by now. So many holdouts. But we'll be okay because we have people like Shigure, who has the fire sword. And that's going to really come in handy. And we're going to be riding that wagon for quite a while, I think. As long as those wheels remain in place, at least. Now, Fret is a female battler who is also, like a lot of the battlers, a very good general. Has access to a variety of useful abilities. That there was the Gaia Break, which is a returning spell from Dragon Force 1, just like a lot of them got a little slight look update, I'll say. I don't know if I should really use the word model when referring to a spell, but you get what I'm saying. It has the same basic effect. I think it's maybe less good in this one because it's more random how many troops it hits and how long it lasts, but it can be very potent when used in the proper places. Now, he's hurting, but he has fire swords, so I'm gonna roll those dice and see what we land. Yes, just as I predicted, we landed on the victory spot. I'll take it. Roll me another. Hoping for a double, because we'll probably be doing that again pretty soon. Yeah, so, I don't know, Arm Doubler, Fire Sword, I don't know which one is better in the long run. Probably, it's tough to say. Maybe Arm Doubler, because that's 2 attacks in a row no matter what. But I don't know, Fire Sword, it's definitely holding it down. Okay, so she only has soldiers right now. She has access to some decent, she can get ghosts, cavalry. He's standard robot soldier. He gets robots, centaurs, airbots. They all get the same thing. They're interchangeable in that way. But yeah, Florence, she does have access to some decent people, so she's somebody to potentially come back to. Especially since we got so many people who don't want to be bothered with us. So sad. Their loss. We'll press on. Ayame, give her a little bit in a bit. That's the only problem when you take over a low-level castle, you really don't have a lot to replenish with. And Gonzalez is eager to play. Let's see who I can set him up with. Get a little play date going for him. Let's see. Nobody's really ready to go as of yet. Kind of want to just deal with Bozak and wrap that up at the capital. Not the collateral. Let's see. Those castles aren't occupied. That's good. And we'll just wait. Because he's here. Another knock on the door. It's Mr. Gonzalez. Speeding to an early defeat. Courtesy of Megumi and her healing ability. What are you about to do? What can you do? Oh, that. Right, we were talking about that earlier. Because Fred did that. And see, this is when you want to use it. But it's better when they have people left to actually pick them off. So all he's really doing here is postponing what's sure to follow. Which will most likely be him on the ground with his thumb in his mouth. Well, no, he's he's a little bit more mature than that, but you can imagine. Now, the only tricky part is he's probably going to run away if I don't get the final blow. I'm going to try to save her last spell for that. Problem is he's so tough defensively. I have to time this just right. Waiting. Let's try. And here. Alright. See, I thought he was going to have a sliver left. And see, when that happens, they 99.99% of the time, they will run away when that's the case. But that did finish him off. And see, that's where a lot of the strategic element comes in, that waiting game of getting them as weak as possible and then just using your magic to finish them off easily before they can get out of dodge. And we're just gonna go ahead and start moving some people. Try to keep the action rolling. It's just a matter of figuring out who to take and where to take them. See, he has only one general with him. Not a problem. Henry is kind of a pain, but one person is not too bad. Obviously, we want Kaede to join that group because she's going to fight every monarch that we come across, every ruler. I think that's the proper way to go about it. Don't know why I'm bothered taking him. He's not going to join. But I'm just living in an imaginary world right now where that's a possibility, so keeping that dream alive until the last battle. When there'd be no point at that point. Okay, we want to keep her full too. I'm gonna be leaning on her for a little while, I think. She's probably our most reliable lieutenant. Dora was eager to take that castle. She can have it for the time being. She can house sit for a bit. We have more important things to deal with at the moment. And quick search returned nothing. Gonna be seeing a lot of that in the early stages. And yes, I was hoping for that. Fuji is fit for duty once again. Try not to get him hurt so quick this time. And hand out some awards. Again, I want to conserve a couple if I can. First, let's see who we can slide on over to our side. Certainly not him. I just wanted to see what he said there. I knew he was going to join. Okay, Ra still isn't joining. Matilda might eventually. Same with Fret. And just for giggles, see what I mean? Nobody likes Kaede. Nobody wants to join. Come on, she can't be that bad. What, is she just really bossy? Is that why they don't want to join? Is it because she's not that stuck up. She's not that rude. Come on, she's bold and fearless. You know, she's our leader. Come on, guys. Why you holding out? Oh, well. I trust they'll see the light eventually. If not, I believe our mind control technology has advanced leaps and bounds in the last few years. Maybe we can employ our best scientists and engineers to sway them over. Or fresh baked goods. I hear that usually works too. Maki. She got Maki to join. And see, that's the thing that's so annoying. In a domestic turn, when you come back, they can recruit troops just like you can. See, the problem is you don't see who they have captive, who they're holding. So you never know who they're going to have with them until they do. So with that in mind, I probably should check. What castle's that again? Cordero? Where Gangas is at? I should probably double check to make sure he doesn't have like 3 new people there, but that's a chance I'm willing to take for the sake of fun and thrills and potential spills. Because why should Fujimaru have all the fun there, right? Oh, okay, see, he definitely got some more people because he had somebody splitting off to that other castle. So what are we dealing with here? Levy? Did you get lost, Levy? What are you doing in Bozak? You're supposed to be in Highland. What would Dora say right now? Okay. Whoa, she took a couple of left turns at Albuquerque. Somehow ended up here on the battlefield with us. That's fine. We'll see if we can't give her some directions. Failing that, some sword lessons. Now, the only thing is, we're going to have to play this very, very intelligently because she has horsemen, and against pikemen, they have the advantage. Now, if we were playing Langrisser 2, I would have the undisputed advantage here, and I'd be loving it, but I'm not, so we don't. So, gotta be a little careful. Yeah, I know I was gonna mention Langrisser at some point, that's... Oh man, just thoroughly enjoying the entire series right now. Just all these years, never knew it existed, and now it's just me making up for lost time. It might have been my favorite series of all time if I had it back in the day, but again, completely beyond my radar. Had no idea those things were around. So anyway, yeah, as you can see, we have no more men left, so he's just gonna have to one-man army it, and he's doing an okay job now. He's not doing too good in terms of health, but don't worry, don't fuss, don't fret, because we still have Fire Sword. It's still powerful, and hopefully it's gonna still carry us for a little bit longer. That's what I'm banking on. This is kind of taking a chance though, because Levy can fight. She's not a punk. Yeah, we'll see. Ooh, say what you mean. Say what you mean. And he meant it because he said it and he did it. Whew. Ha. That's what it's like staring over the edge of the precipice. Yeah. And wow, that worked out really well for him. Got Volcano. Okay, so that was Marcus. How did he get over there? Game's cheating again, I think. And we didn't want to disturb the peace, we just wanted to meet you. Oh, look at her closer, please. He thinks it's a trick. No, it's not a trick. She's just, oh, how's a nice way to put it? She's fishing. I'll just say that. She's fishing, and you took the bait, more or less. So, welcome to Legendra's Most Eligible Bachelors. And our first contestant here, well, we'll hold off on that because we're not actually dealing with him yet. We're dealing with his subordinate here. His inordinate subordinate with a few troops. Shouldn't be too bad, despite the fact that they again have the advantage. We're just going to try to whittle them down a little bit like we like to do. Split our people off into 2 groups. Space them out a little bit just so that hopefully they'll be a little bit more effective. And also hoping that the enemy troops will target her a little bit more because she'll be better at dealing with them than they will. Because if she keeps a few people alive, they can deal with him directly. I know he... Well, you could, I wouldn't mind. You know, don't go all out on my account. You know, you see we're low level. Not working with a whole lot as of yet. But you know, you gotta start small, and you gotta start somewhere. Humble beginnings. Cornerstone of greatness. That actually did pretty decent. I just did it to do it, and yeah, he's down to 12. So we're gonna surround, and they're doing pretty good on this end. That was... that exceeded all expectations, honestly. So there's no reason to hold back. He's just got some archers left. Oh no, he's okay. Wasn't paying attention. He has a couple left, but yeah. Still not worried about them. They're on melee, so he's just kind of gonna go back and forth trying to do just that. And he'll take out a couple of people probably, but I'm confident that we can hold out. I don't think one cavalry unit is gonna do that much damage to where I end up with nothing left. And he's saving his MP. I know that he has a healing ability, but I don't think he's learned it as of yet. Not sure what level he is. Now that would be a problem, but since he's probably not going to use that, he most likely doesn't have it yet, I think we're in the clear. So it's just a matter of finishing off these archers. Before the time runs out, preferably. Probably should have been on the case a little bit quicker. Because they're gonna march right up in front of her and do that. That's right, Ayame, fight back. Just say no to arrows in the face. Nobody profits from that. Except the archers, but they're gone, so. Win. And just in time, just beat the buzzer. Yeah, in this game, you're fighting against the clock just as much as the enemy generals. Okay, he's still got decent health because we didn't really do anything to him. Yeah, we're gonna do this. This could be a mistake, but I'm gonna send her in, finish this up, then use her again to deal with Mr. G. Reason being, her pikemen happen to be pretty decent against both types of troops that he has. So, especially given the fact that the cavalry can't even attack the harpies, I mean, they literally cannot hit them, they are unable to. They're not able to attack any flying units. So, with that in mind, I'm going to use them on Hanri. Try to save as many of the Ashiguru as possible. And we'll see how this pans out. Gonna save her magic too if I can. She's only got one spell. Would prefer to save that for the big guy. Yeah, he's not gonna go down easy though. He might even just go through all my cavalry. It would not surprise me. So we're gonna put them on melee, hoping that they'll be a little bit more focused in their assault. It's hard to say. They're not doing terrible though. Their accuracy is not the best from what I gathered, but they hit hard when they do. All the more reason to put them up front. Take all the hits. Okay, that's good. That's good. He was quick to run away. This is one of the few times I'm happy to see them retreat. Normally I prefer they stick it out until the bitter end. But no, he can go. So this is our first eligible bachelor. This is Gangas, hailing from Bozak, obviously. His sun sign is Sagittarius, and he likes wrestling matches, honesty, and staying up late. How about that? So in this match, we're going to play it very carefully, extremely cautiously. Obviously, we want convex. Because harpies, yeah. And beasts even. Now, again, when I first started playing this, I thought that beasts were one of the worst units in the game. And the truth is, they probably still are, but they're not terrible. In fact, I won't even say they're one of the worst. They're not one of the best by far, but they're very specialized. There are a few units that they're exceptional against, and a few that they're 50-50 with, and a bunch that they're really bad against, and that's why it's easy to think of them as being terrible and writing them off. But the thing is, just don't send them in against the troops that they're bad against. And a lot of the ones that they're equal to, I've usually had the advantage in those fights, and these are troops that it's good for them to have the advantage against soldiers, archers, things of that nature. They do very well, whereas a lot of troops are bad against archers in this game, amazingly enough. So it's all about how you use them, and they're one of the units that can attack air units, even though they're bad against a lot of them, but they can actually attack them, unlike cavalry, for example. So it's all about how you use them. And again, that is one reason, not to harp on this again, why in a lot of ways I do prefer this to the original. There's a lot more of a strategic element involved. You have to think about who you're sending out, who they're going up against, how many it is, terrain, all these things are a factor. Terrain to a much lesser extent, but still, that extra defense, you know. So we're just going to surround him. He's obviously going to put up a bit of a fight, but I'm not too concerned. He only has one spell in him that he's not using. I guess he calls himself conserving it, but there's really no point in saving it if you don't get a second round. Guys, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I did it. Let's see what happens. That's what I'm saying right now. No way did the game let me off that easy. Because normally in that situation, that's when they pull out 5 or 6 hits in a row. Or I miss 5 or 6. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you. Caught him in a good mood. Naturally, she's going to get a level up off of that. Learn Mijingakure. Probably will only use that once or twice to show it off, and that's it. It's not very effective in any situation that I found. And that's sad, because it's her second ability. Now we have to work her up just to learn something else that will hopefully be more useful. Time will tell. So Marcus is just all by his lonesome there, trying to hold down the fort as best he can, I'd imagine. And we're about to deal with this castle. Are we going to deal with them? Or, yeah, why not? This should be a quick one. Because Dora left thanks to Maki, and he's not too tough. And this gives us a perfect opportunity to redeem Fuji's name. And I've got to stop calling him Fuji for short, but I probably won't. He seems like the kind of guy that wouldn't really go for a nickname. He'd probably find it a little improper. Because he's such a proper chap. See, look, that's exactly what I mean. 'Tis time indeed. 'Tis time to not lose and to not die. That's number 1 on my list. Okay, so we're just gonna send one group forward. On paper we have the advantage, but I don't want to get reckless. Not this time. We got off easy with Kaede. I don't want to press things. One can only experience so much good fortune in a single day. Or in a single video, even more so. Man, I can't wait till he gets something else besides stone or rain. But in the meantime, let's make the most of it. And he's taken a couple of hits, but if he can hold out a little bit longer, yeah, good. Almost at full health. To the untrained eye, he is at full health. But we know better. Maki. How you doing? Was that not so hot? Well, I apologize, but you are kinda in the way. Appreciate your house sitting, but we're ready to come home. What's worse, you didn't even clean up after yourself. This is not how we left it to you, so we will be taking it back. Please. Please, I said. And, yeah. That'll do it. I don't think he's somebody who can die. I haven't seen him die. I think he's considered too important. Yeah, he got captured. Because he's the leader of the Rainbow Horse. If that means anything to you. That's the problem. This game has so much backstory, but so little of it gets fleshed out in the actual plot. So you never know. And that'll about wrap it up for this episode. I'm gonna save things this time for sure. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Until then, take care.